This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a modality that can really change your life, move it forward, show you things that you didn't realize, have breakthroughs, epiphanies. I'm talking about hypnotherapy. We're going to dig deep into that today, how it all works, why it is such a wonderful modality, and that is coming from somebody who's a transformational guide, certified hypnotic coach, board certified and licensed massage therapist, Reiki master, teacher, and so much more. Kathy Bjerke is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you, Steve. How are you today?
Honestly, better in my life since I discovered hypnotherapy about 3 or 4 years ago.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I always, think it's time for a touch up. Let's, go back in there again. It's amazing how even after having hypnotherapy, as time goes on, you still have realizations. It's still working, if that makes sense, in a weird way.
Yes, it does make sense.
What is the difference? Now, we're talking hypnotherapy. It's a therapeutic modality. What is the difference between a hypnotherapist and somebody who's certified as a hypnotist? Or is there a difference?
Technically speaking, one would have to have some sort of therapy degree, licensed social work, counselor, psychiatrist, somebody to be considered a therapist. So I do not have any of those credentials. My correct title is a hypnotic coach.
Gotcha. So, when I look at that, you're certified as a coach, yes?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So to me, that it's a perfect blend there as well, where we identify things under hypnosis. All right, now what do I do? Okay, coach comes in and helps you figure things out and how to take that information and use it for the best outcome. Does that make sense?
It does. And I want to explain a little bit about the difference between therapy with a counselor or talk therapy and hypnosis.
Yep.
A talk therapist is only allowed to work in the conscious mind, which is what you and I are in right now. We're conscious, we're talking. That's the only thing they can do. And I'm not allowed to do that. I am allowed to work in the subconscious mind. But the subconscious mind is the part of the mind where all of the emotions, all of our creativity, our imagination, all of the emotions, all of those memories, that's where they are held. So we think that we operate out of our conscious mind, that we know what's going on, but that's really where we spend only about 10% of our time during our days. We spend 90% of the time in the subconscious mind. So why is that important? You are not aware of what is going on in your subconscious mind. You're not conscious of that. It's subconscious. Another part of the subconscious mind is the autonomic nervous system. And that's part of our nervous system that controls things that work without you having to think about it. So that would be your heart rate, your blood pressure, respirations, breathing, digestion. So you can think about your breathing and control it and make it conscious, but you do not need to think about it in order for that to work. And it works when you're asleep, when you are not conscious, right? So the subconscious part of the brain really drives the bus, so to speak, in our lives. And we don't even know that. So that's where all of the memories and the emotions are held. So we are acting on that part of our brain without knowing what it is and how it is affecting us.
So question based on that. What was that called again, which governs
autonomic nervous system?
Autonomic nervous system.
Nervous system.
Right. So we're able to hijack it, if you will, or control it at will. You know, you're breathing. All right, that's automatic. We do it anyway. Now I'm going to intentionally take a deep breath. I've hijacked it for a second. Are we able to do that within our subconscious? Why can't we go back there at will? Or let's say something's been identified, maybe through hypnosis. Pick anything. Fear of abandonment. That comes up a lot, I'm sure.
Hmm.
What can
Hmm.
you do with that to, like we're hijacking the breathing? What can we do to go in there and hijack that to put a stop on it or whatever it might be?
Well, there are ways to connect with the subconscious mind on your own. You could do that if you were in a deep state of meditation, shall we say. And meditation and hypnosis can be very similar. The science gets down to exactly what the brain wave length is. You know, you've heard of the gamma and the alpha game, brain waves. So it depends on how deeply you are to be considered hypnosis versus meditation. But people can connect with that subconscious mind. But having the hypnotic coach there, they're able to guide you because once you get there, you may not know what to do when
Mm,
you are there. So
mm,
I've been in hypnosis enough times, and I also teach a class on self-hypnosis to help you learn how to do that. So I can go in and maybe pose a question or try to get an answer for something. But I also need to work with a hypnotic coach because there are times when I need to be guided or things are going to come up that I don't know what to do with necessarily. But you can connect with your subconscious mind. And at night, you're dreaming.
mm.
That's your subconscious mind trying to figure out what it didn't get done during the day. The subconscious mind never shuts off. And the reason we need to get into a deep state of relaxation is to bypass the critical factor of that conscious mind, because the conscious mind is the part that thinks and analyzes, judges, and criticizes. So it's doing all that work. And we need to bypass that in order for the subconscious mind to be able to come forward. It's almost like having two windows on your computer open. You know, you can have one maximized and one minimized, and they're still both open, but you're working out of one of them, right? So that's how we live our lives. We have access to both of them, but typically we're in our conscious and the subconscious minimized, but it's still running in the background and actually running the show.
Mm. It's a scary thought because many of us, I don't want to say control freaks, but we like to be in control. We're not controlling that. We can't unless we work with somebody like yourself and harness the power of making the connection and then making the change, or hearing the suggestion to
Right.
make the change. Hmm.
And
Um,
if you just heard that suggestion in your conscious mind, you would start to pick it apart. Well, maybe that's not the right way, or I don't really like it said that way. That's why we need to bypass that critical thinking part in order for you to really take that suggestion in.
Totally. And there's a reason why we need to make the suggestion anyway, because we got that far and the logic has gotten in the way right away. We can think, I need
Yes.
to, I need to change this within me. No, being honest too. I know exactly what it is. Now that I
Yes.
think about it, it's like, well, if I do that, then that's going to happen. Or maybe that will happen, collateral damage or situation. And I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
and
You shut yourself down.
you shut yourself down. Or, it's like, yeah, I'll get to it. Um, we probably all, I'm not even going to say probably, we all know what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. I believe that. It's within, it's the answer, it's your intuition. It's maybe it's your subconscious saying this is what needs to get done. I don't know. That's part of is that part of your intuition? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. And the work that I do, I like to include bringing in ourselves in soul form. So in regular hypnosis or clinical hypnosis, in the way that I was trained, we work with people basically limited to this lifetime. So say you use the example of abandonment, right? Fear of abandonment.
Hmm.
So in traditional hypnosis, somebody would come in and say, I would like to explore this in my life. And we would take you back in your childhood. We call it an initial sensitizing event. We would take you back to that time and help you explore that in a safe space and allow, I'm just going to pick an age, allow that 3-year-old to express their emotions because they probably at that moment didn't have a voice or an opportunity to say, you know, hey,
Mm.
mom, I'm really mad that you abandoned me, right? So we get you back in the subconscious mind, and then we take you back to that memory of being a 3-year-old, allow you to express that, and allow that 3-year-old to see the situation in a different way. Because as a 3-year-old, your mind takes in information as part reality, part fantasy. That's what we do as children. That's all human beings' minds. It's our perception of that event. And then we introduce the kind of adult version of the story, which is more reality, more truth, and allow that 3-year-old to see, oh, it was just my perception, but that wasn't necessarily truth. And we can work through all of those emotions. And that's how that gets healed. That's traditional hypnosis. So, what I have been led to do because of my own healing is to take people back even further into soul form and not limit ourselves to this one single lifetime. Because what I have found is we can bring in soul contracts, we can bring in emotions and energies from past lives, uh, from we can absorb them from our mother we when we are being carried,
Yep.
and we don't even know that that's a factor. So going back to the fear of abandonment issue, if I were just to take you back to say that 3-year-old self, we could do a lot of really, really good work, but we may not be at the core of the issue. That may have come from somewhere else that you in this lifetime are not aware of. So when I take you back into soul form before this lifetime, we connect with your soul's infinite intelligence. We connect with your higher self, who is another part of you and acts as a guide. And then we get the full picture. And I have just seen amazing results of things being healed without having to go back to that traumatic event. That's another beautiful part of the process that I am working with, that I've developed.
So many questions here.
I know it's a lot.
Uh, Looking at other lives, past life regression,
Yeah.
something you do.
Yes, I do.
Okay. I believe I identified when we got together recently, I did my first past life regression. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, 5, 6 weeks, at least, yeah, 6 weeks or so ago.
Mhm.
The things I know that challenge me, like we all have those things, and they come to light once you do hypnotherapy and the work.
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you, I was aware of them, and I saw them present in another life.
Mhm.
It was there. I'm not looking for it. It just showed up. I'm like, oh, okay, that could be, more of that. It does your subconscious continually look for evidence to back that stuff up? So let's say maybe it's fear of abandonment. That's in another life. Then it could be anything. It could be fear of whatever.
Mhm.
And you go from that past life to your current life, baby, toddler, child, on and on and on and on. Is your subconscious always looking for proof that that exists? Like that's a thing for you. So it's always like, oh, there it is again. Oh, there it is again. Another situation. There it is again. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's it. That's who I am. Really not who you are. It's what you went through and how you internalized it to get to who you are. But is the subconscious always looking?
I'm going to answer that in a little different way. I'm going to present the idea that you are an everlasting soul. And in this moment, we are human beings in this lifetime, but this soul is everlasting. So just as you're born and your soul comes from somewhere into this human form, when you die, it's going to transition into a different form,
Hmm.
right? You've come from somewhere, you're going to go somewhere. So in our essence, our personality is an everlasting soul that is in spirit form. Now, our soul wants to grow and expand and learn new things and evolve. So, in each lifetime, there's specific things that you need to work on in order for that soul evolution to take place. We don't remember saying, oh, I really want to work on fear of abandonment in this lifetime. But we choose that before we come in. And then we craft our entire life around learning how to work through fear of abandonment. So it's a misconception for a lot of people. And trust me, I didn't believe this until I started getting into this work. And I didn't even believe in past life regression until I was in the middle of one. And I came out of it and I said, oh, I have to change my whole thought process now that I've based my
Oh,
life on. It's all different now because I didn't even believe in it.
how did you
So our
believe? I'm sorry,
soul,
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just at that.
no,
You
that's
said
fine.
believe. How did you believe, or when did you believe that that past life regression was real?
Well, when I was in it, because as you know, when you are in hypnosis, you are fully aware. It's a state of hyper awareness. So you know everything that's going on. You see, sense, feel. Some people can smell things. You can
Totally.
use all of your senses. So when I was in that lifetime, I knew, oh, I have done this before. I have been here before. And when I got back into soul form, I recognized it and I remembered, oh, that's right. I've I'd forgotten because that's the human condition.
Mm.
We are supposed to forget because what would you learn? If I look at life as a school, so if you got handed all the answers to your final exam, would you learn anything?
No, you just it'd be memory. You memorize it, you
Right.
take the test, you forgot it.
So this is what life is. This is a series of lessons that we need to learn in order to evolve our soul. So you ask if the subconscious mind stays the same. Well, say the fear of abandonment. That's a hard lesson. They're all hard lessons, honestly. But if you didn't fully learn that lesson in one lifetime, no big deal. You get to come and try it again because there's no judgment in spirit form. It's just you are being given an opportunity to learn something, and we craft our lives around learning what we have chosen to learn in this lifetime, but you just consciously don't remember that.
But
But that's what I'm able to
Kathy,
get people into contact with.
why do we have to learn? Why do we have to go through all this stuff and learn these lessons? Why is that the secret of life? Like why can't it just be easy? I know, deep question here. I get it.
I don't know if I have the right answer to that. I just believe myself. I know that I am an everlasting soul in spirit form, and I know that I was creative out of love from the highest power of love. And I'm just giving being given opportunities to work my way closer towards that. That's what I think soul evolution is as we learn, as we grow, we get closer to that pure potential of love and peace and joy. And again, why do we learn anything at all when we're in this? Why do people go to school? Why is it important to learn math? It's enriching us. So I believe that it's simply an opportunity to be enriched and to learn and expand and become beings of love and be able to beam that to everyone in every situation. And it's difficult.
So that being said, and they say love is the highest vibration. If you believe that this is just love is the answer, we're all about love. That's it. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. Showing it, expressing, all of that. That's what it is. Do you feel that these things that present in our lives take us away from the goal of ultimately love? And that's why we need to learn these lessons so we get back on the track to ultimately get to love, whatever that means. And it comes in all different shapes and forms, receiving, accepting, giving, showing, all of that. But maybe that's why we got to learn, because we're off track, because these things get in the way.
Our conscious mind gets in the way and shuts us down.
Yep.
And that's just the human condition. And nobody does it right, nobody does it wrong.
But why is it doing it? Let's mention that. It's because it's protecting you to keep you safe. Or it thinks it's keeping you safe, because if it wasn't doing its job, we wouldn't even be here. Evolution. We never would have made it this far if it wasn't protecting us, or thinking that it's protecting us. I don't know. I'm looking at all the pieces here and trying to put the puzzle together.
And there's so many things that we don't have answers to. And in my spiritual journey, I have just decided, because nobody's life is easy, nobody's life is perfect, but I have decided to trust that there is a higher power of love, and they've got my back in every situation, and everything that I learn is in my favor to move me forward to being the best that I can be, my best version.
Yep.
Because anytime we struggle or challenge, that's when we're growing. If life is easy, you're not learning anything really. Might be comfortable.
Right. Yeah, but you're not moving forward, and you're not getting back to the goal of love, I believe, and ultimately your purpose. And when you find your purpose, you're sharing it with others out of love.
Right.
How do we find you? How do we connect with you? Wonderfully, this is Energy, and you can do sessions with people virtually anywhere on the planet. How do we do this?
The best way to reach me is to go to my website, and that is restoremindandbody7.com. That's the best place to reach me.
Excellent. Thank you for today. Restore Mind and Body says everything. Because again, when we talk about when we were children, we were there. We have to restore that because the subconscious got in the way. It's protecting us and all of that. Thank you for all the insight and the validation of all of this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. We'll catch up next time. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.